Okay, here is exactly what I would do 7 days leading up to your marathon. Everything you do in that last week before the race day matters. Not just the running. The goal is to sharpen the body, calm the mind, and arrive on the start line feeling confident, fresh, and ready to race. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do in the final 7 days before your marathon, including training, recovery strategies, travel tips, and how to avoid the most common mistakes that I see runners make all the time in this final week. So whether you're training for Boston, London, or Paris, this plan helps you get the very most out of yourself on race day. I'm Grantham, a coach and professional ultra runner who had a breakthrough marathon after 2 years fumbling around with it. I took 48 minutes off my time and went from running a marathon in 3 hours and 25 minutes to 2 hours and 37. And it's because I got this point right. And once you get it right, you're not going to do it a different way again. And it's going to lead to more consistent high performances in your races. If you're looking to become the fastest possible version of yourself and you want the professional guidance from somebody who's been there and helps athletes to get there, then book a call in the link in the description. So I'm targeting a race 7 days from now, next Sunday, and today is Sunday. What does my long run look like? All I want to do is get to that start line as fresh as possible, but without losing the zip in my legs. So today's long run, 7 days out, is just 16 kilometers or 10 miles with 6 kilometers at marathon pace. And I want to be chomping at the bit within that run. So I want to feel like I really want to go further. I really want to go faster. That's the feeling that you want. But also be aware that by now, so close to the race, your head starts to play tricks on you. So if the perceived effort is up there, don't worry about it too much. It's just about you keeping the zip in the legs and keeping the idea of what marathon pace feels like or what marathon effort feels like. And so in order to get that right, in order to set ourselves up for success and build that confidence, the way that that run would look like for me, solid warm up, and then 5K easy. In the 5th kilometer, I'm starting to accelerate, and then I'm doing 6 kilometers at marathon pace or marathon effort. And I'm not doing any more than that. Got the confidence to know that I've already done the hard work. This is just about keeping that marathon feeling in the legs. And then on the back end, I'm doing 5 kilometers easy. I'm just gradually bringing the effort and the pace down in that 12th and 13th kilometer. And then I'm getting back into zone 2 and nicely boxing off the run. And don't forget your cool down. And then immediately after the cool down, I'm having my recovery shake. It's calorific, it's 5 bananas, oats, pea protein. But the big part there is the carbohydrate for me. I want to be fueling carbohydrate, but my diet for this week leading doesn't change. And if you think about it like this, a lot of people lose their minds on this issue and they'll carbohydrate deplete, and then they'll starve themselves until Thursday. Mind is starting to wander even more so without the calories, and then they'll carbohydrate load, when in actual fact, if you just keep your diet the same, because you've reduced the volume in the last couple of weeks and pretty severely in this final week, then you're already carbohydrate loading. And that falls nicely in line with our plan to keep as much familiar, as much the same as we possibly can. Then what I'll do on the Monday is have a complete rest day. So usually for me that would be a recovery run, but this time, 6 days out from the race, I'm gonna have a full rest day. And then Tuesday, it's 5 miles easy or 8 kilometers easy. I'm just in zone 2, nice and comfortable for me. I'm not trying to break any records. All I'm trying to do is patch that long run with an easy run to go to the Wednesday, which is just a reduced volume interval session. So 12 times 1 minute with 60 seconds rest in between. And they are basically accelerations. I usually run them at about 10K pace. But if they're at half marathon pace, again, it's just about keeping the zip in the legs. So remember, a thorough warm up, make sure you're ready, and then just accelerate into them. And at this point, we're building confidence along with keeping that zip in the legs. So together with the warm up, the cool down, and those 12 minutes of efforts, you're looking at about 30 to 40 minutes absolute max. But again, we've got to remind ourselves by this point, we're confident. We're confident, we've executed in the process, and we're in the headspace that everything that we've done so far is in the past. That's all done. Let's control what we can control. So we're not getting into this headspace where, have I done too much? Have I done too little? What you've done, and you're getting ready to race. And then on the Thursday, as usual, it's always a rest day for me. That's a complete rest day. So we're keeping as much the same as we can. And either that Thursday when you're resting, or the day before in the afternoon or evening after you've done those short 12 times 1 minute, that's the perfect time to fly if you need to take a flight to your marathon. And on the flight, I'm behaving like a nutter. I've got the compression socks on, I've got the mask on, I'm keeping out. If you think about the best place to get sick, probably a place like an airport or a flight where people are coming over from everywhere, bringing different bacteria. So I've got the mask on. Even before it was cool during COVID, I've got the mask on and the compression socks. I'm not worried about fashion. I'm just worried about my legs and focusing on my legs and getting them freshed up. And then when I get to the hotel, I'm going out for a walk and getting the flight out of my legs. That's super important. So I don't care whether I land there 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. I'm going for a walk for 45 minutes. And what we're focused on here for the entire week is our sleep. We're focused on sleeping like a champion. If we accumulate as much sleep as we can to a point where it doesn't matter if nerves get in the way, if that anxiety gets in the way the day before, the night before marathon day, we've accumulated enough sleep to still run our best. And guess what? That puts you in a great frame of mind on that Saturday night and you get a great night's sleep. And at the same time, we're always looking after our immune system because we're athletes, but we're gonna ramp it up a little bit. So for me, that looks like taking raw ginger shots. I'm taking garlic sliced, left for 5 minutes, take it, then I'm taking lemons, oranges, a lot of vitamin C. Again, I'm controlling the controllables. And if I can get my immune system firing on all cylinders, doesn't matter if I'm in airports or flights or whatever, I'm giving myself the best chance to get to the start line and execute. And then Friday, waking up and just doing 35 minutes recovery run. And I'm stopping and stretching whenever I want. All that is about is just 35 minutes, simply nice and light, getting used to wherever I am. Maybe it's a little bit hotter, maybe it's a bit colder than where you're from. The route is already decided. It's something that I've planned in advance. So it's a local park, it's somewhere nice and easy. I'm not having to stop every 100 meters for a traffic light and it's stop start and then I'm getting out of my rhythm. I just want that to be a nice 30 to 35 minutes recovery jog. And then I'm ready for Saturday. And on Saturday, warming up fully and then an easy run, naturally getting into my rhythm. Then at the end of that run, I'm doing 2 minutes at threshold, then cooling down, and then getting a calorific, carbohydrate-rich recovery shake in me immediately, within 10 minutes. And guess what I'm not doing? I'm not going to the expo on that day. I'm gonna go as soon as I possibly can. So if it's open on a Thursday, I'll go on the Thursday. If it's open on a Friday, I'll go on the Friday. But I'm in and out. I'm not looking at new shoes, new gadgets. I'm just in and out. I want to spend as less time on my feet and as much time lying down when you're not running as you possibly can. And what I'm also not expecting from this week leading up to the race is I'm not expecting perfection. And so this is a great headspace to put yourself in. Just like the training program. If you're expecting a perfect 13-week, 16-week build-up, however long it's been, if you're expecting it to be perfect without any speed bumps or problems, then you're in the wrong sport. This is problem solving on the go. And so I'm expecting that in the final week. I'm expecting delayed flights. I've got backup plans. And I'm doing everything I possibly can to check, is the park that I want to run at the day before and the day before that, is it open? Is there any construction there? All this information is available to you now if you just go online. And with experience, and so you can just learn this, you know that the head is going to be playing tricks on you. You know that once you ramp down in volume, even if you're keeping the intensity there, all of a sudden the body starts to shout at you, like, what's going on? You're not giving me what I'm used to dealing with. And therefore, a bit like not using a car for a while and taking it out, something begins to rattle. And again, that's just, you need to freshen up to give your best performance on that race morning. And in order to do that, we've got to back off. We've got to back off the volume. And therefore, there's gonna be those, what I call phantom pains. And then after that last easy run, my kit's laid out. I've got my number on. There's all the less checks done. They've been done 3 days ago that I'm just, okay, belt and braces, as we say in the UK, and making sure that everything is ready for the morning after. I know the route. I know how I'm going to get to the start line. I know how I'm going to get into my wave. There's no surprises, or I'm reducing the amount of surprises that there's going to be. So there you go. Keep it simple. Keep as much the same as you possibly can. And remember that everything that you're working on right now is you being a one-person experiment for your next race. So keep a note of everything. What's working, what's not? What do you need to change for next time? And so when you arrive on that start line, you will have practiced everything in training. And so it's second nature, and you've got this deep appreciation that all the hard work is done. That's way harder than the race itself. This is the fun part. And so there's no nerves or anxiety. You can get to this place where you can feed off all that energy, and it's such a brilliant place to be. It's a brilliant thing to watch a marathon and restore your faith in humanity. It's an even better thing to be part of. And so look after your sleep, get as much as you possibly can, because it gets exciting the night before. Keep your diet the same. Don't get to a new country and start trying the local cuisine, and execute exactly what you've practiced in training. So nothing changes. If you're 2 or 3 weeks out and you want your final long runs, this video is great.